Broads Media.
Now what? What am I supposed to do after you get swept by the Mets? Am I supposed to give a damn about the National Series? Am I supposed to care about you as deeply as I do? Now, the problem is I have no escape. I can't go anywhere. I'm attached to you whether you like it or not, so my brain's gonna explode if you continue this mess, and that's really what I expect at this point because I don't think they're a good baseball team. They have a lot of individual talent, but they don't know how to mesh, and they don't know how to compete legitimately. The Mets are not good, but you're making them look way better than they are. And I have to deal with Taijuan Walker, who goes 4 innings, walks 3 guys, allows 3 earned runs, and then afterwards he's saying he's fine. Afterwards, the manager says there's nothing wrong with him. Yet his velocity has dipped 3 miles per hour. He's given us 90-mile-per-hour pitches. It's totally ridiculous. The fact that there isn't any physical problem, from what they're telling us, makes this more of an issue, makes this more of a problem. I actually want to hear that he's dealing with discomfort, because then it makes sense. I know they tried changing his windup. That's not enough for me to think that it's all going south the way that it is. He's been putting guys on for free since he put on a damn Phillies uniform. He's been walking guys left and right all year long. This team was up 2-0 in the first inning on Max Scherzer. It doesn't matter what they do. They don't know how to continue momentum. They don't know how to play consistent baseball. Well, that's not fair because they're consistently striking out 1 billion times a game. Lucky Trey Turner gets help from Bryson Stott on a play at second base. I can't believe they overturned it and caught him out. I was pretty certain it was sort of bang-bang there. And the original call was safe on the field. But Trey Turner gets some help from one of his teammates. He has no clue how to play the sport right now. Post-game, I got to deal with this out of Rob Thompson. And I'm actually aggravated by the manager. This is a horrendous way to speak publicly for any sort of message to the clubhouse. Well, if you look at previous NL winners, look at their starts to the seasons. Hold on a second here, Rob. You think I give one damn about other NL winners in years past? You think I give a damn? I don't. The only thing that matters to me, Rob, is this team pulling their head out of their ass. That's the only thing that matters, Rob. You're making excuses. There should be no room for excuses from the manager right now. They're grinding. They just have to keep grinding. They're not grinding hard enough, Rob. I want to try and see if someone will step up. Bryce Harper against the Colorado Rockies. Remember that little, it wasn't really a bench brawl, but there was some fight. Nobody followed. Bryce has been killing it. We've lost our minds so much that I heard a caller today scream about how overpriced Bryce Harper is and how stupid the franchise was to give him all that cash. And I'm using that to describe a group of people who love this team so much that they really are damaging their skulls. They're losing knowledge and everything's on the table. You're just blabbering crap because you have nothing to talk about positively with the baseball team. There's nothing to follow. You're going to have to win at a percentage of an 850 win percentage to snag us back on. Because a few series wins here and there won't even be enough at this rate. So he had to deal with calling out the superstar who had insane postseason moments last year. You're talking about elite level home runs. A guy who's won an MVP in this uniform. Yeah, that guy. We shouldn't have paid the money. That's where we're at now. I hope to God they realize that's what they're doing to us as human beings. That's how important figuring this thing out is. I heard, the lefty-righty is killing this team. Why can't they just put out a lineup? It's their best dogs, and no matter what, you're playing every day. That would help settle them down. Kyle Schwarber's playing every day. Trey Turner's playing every day. JT, as a catcher, logs 1 billion innings, and he probably plays too much since being traded here in Philly. Bryce Harper just had a day off, but other than that, he's been back since returning at a historic rate with the Tommy John. The only guys that get flip-flopped once in a blue moon is a first baseman like Cody Clemens, or it's Guthrie in there, or, you have Marsh in there. And okay, if you want to say Marsh deserved more time earlier on and Rob shouldn't have taken him out of the lineup throughout certain points, I got you. That's not why they're 6 games under 500. That's not why they're getting destroyed against the New York Mets. You're sucking because Trey Turner. You're sucking because Kyle Schwarber. They're playing every day. Once again, losing your mind. We got fire Kevin Long. This guy does absolutely nothing. Trey Turner and a lot of these hitters came here because of what Kevin Long means to the league. Brandon Marsh has figured it out, no? Cody Clemens figured it out. Pache figured it out before he got hurt. Nick Castellanos looks like a great player. Bryce Harper still rips the cover off the ball. It's just on 2 dudes. And there's more to it than that. I'm just saying it goes on the main 2 guys right now, Kyle Schwarber and Trey Turner, and your pitching staff. Had to use Matt Strom again. And by the way, you're down Alec Boehm. He's on the 10-day IL. This just goes south and south and south. But going back to what I was saying about Bryce Harper getting in the face of the Colorado Rockies to see if maybe there was some life to this team, that didn't work. I thought Kyle Schwarber had an opportunity today after that horrendous strike call on him that completely changed the entire at-bat, obviously. Could he have done something similar to what he did against the Brewers last year with Angel Hernandez? Now, granted, that was because both teams were getting screwed all night, and he was kind of speaking for the entire league and those 2 teams. Everybody hates Angel Hernandez, so if you get a chance to fire off, have at it, and I think the entire league will give you a round of applause. But could he have screamed in his face, get kicked out of the game, do whatever you got to do to try and inspire the club? I thought that was a reasonable time to do it. I'm at the point now, and this is very typical angry old man get off my lawn. I'm at the point now where I think people need to start flipping trash cans, throwing trash cans, and similar to that. Like, that's what it needs to be. You only have a few times where losing your cool works and gets through. If losing your cool hasn't been done yet, it needs to be done tonight. Maybe it already has, though, and this was the response. Flatline. No pulse, which would be problematic. Because as I mentioned on yesterday's show, Ricky Bo told me that he feels that's already happened. If it's already happened, and this is what we're getting, your team stinks. Your team is bad. There's no lifeline, man. There's nothing. And I don't know how you change it, because that's more DNA. That's more you either have it or you don't. It's unreal. Do they feel entitled? Not entitled, but what's the word Rob Thompson used? Just seeing how last year, I forget the exact word he used, and it's a basic word, and if I heard it, I'd be like, yes, that's it. Complacent. I think that's the word, but that works anyway. Complacent. Because of the path they went on last year. You shouldn't be. If this isn't enough of a wake-up call, I don't know how much more you need. If you were complacent early, fine. First week, first 2 weeks, you took a slow approach with Zach Wheeler. Your starters weren't really throwing. Fine. But by now, 50-plus games in, you're at Nationals level. Here's something else Rob Thompson said that pissed me off. It wasn't just, well, other National League winners had to deal with something similar. You ready for this? He was asked about the National Series. So you're going to play the stinking Washington Nationals. And by the way, Rob, this was mentioned in the early phrasing of the question. You're not too far away from the Nationals in the division, and then blah, 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 blah. How do you feel about that series? Blah, 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 blah. We went down that road. Fine. Well, the Nationals are playing good ball. Holy shit. What? I'm sorry, Rob. Let me get this straight. Let me make sure I heard what you said. You're telling me that right now, after you get embarrassed by the Mets, you get killed by the Mets, who owned you every series last year, and the first time getting a crack at it again this season, they just continue. You're going to sit in your little office or your little room where you get a bunch of questions and try to tell me you're looking at the Washington Nationals next, who have a very similar record to you, that I'm supposed to be okay and respect the Nationals? I'm supposed to give them respect. Okay, sorry. I thought we had higher standards. I thought we were better and held responsible to be a good baseball team that actually competes. The frickin' Washington Nationals. That's what I'm supposed to listen to you talk about. After, like, giving them respect? Respect? I'd piss on the Washington Nationals. That's how much respect I have for them. Come on, Rob. That's what we're doing? Hey, Drew Ellis. Proud of you, kid. Proud of you, kid. Way to make the last out of the game. Tough spot. Tough spot. But you could have done better. You know? I don't know. What do I know? I know losing baseball. Is that fair? To say I know what losing baseball is? I don't know how I'm going to make it, man. I'm super excited. The NBA Finals kick off. I'm super pumped. The Stanley Cup's coming back because the last few days have been just terrible. It's been brutal. And the problem now is that they're in this territory of what am I supposed to do with you? So they beat the Nationals. And I don't even know if they can. I really don't. I have no idea if they can. Not playing this way. They play this way. Then no shot in hell, right? With the Nationals, if you win 2 or 3, if you sweep, so what? So now I don't even know what to do with you. And that's a terrible feeling as a fan. All right, let's see this quote. Nope, that's a Nick Nurse thing. That's a Nick Nurse thing. That's a Nick Nurse thing. Maybe I didn't even do what I wanted to do. I don't know. Taijuan Walker. Where's he at? This isn't relevant to what I want to even talk about. Phillies lose 4-2. They were swept in New York. 4 runs in 3 games. They're 2-5 on their NL East road trip, and their rotation problems might have even gotten worse if Taijuan Walker is hurt. I don't know if Taijuan Walker is hurt. You see how much that makes it even worse? that he might be good to go. This might be him locked in. This might be him prepared. This might be him healthy. I just couldn't get it going, Walker said. Both Rob and Walker said there's nothing physically wrong. Okay. They've struck out 58 times in their last 5 games. What a time to be a Phillies fan. I never did that once before in my life. And I have no idea why that just happened. Let's go to the phones. I hate this team.
Rhodes, man, I think today broke me. I think I'm done with this team. I got to take a couple-week break, stop watching games just for my own sanity, because how much worse can it get? I mean, you got Bono on the IL now. Taijuan Walker gets pulled out looking like he hurt himself. You know, maybe it's nothing, but maybe it's not nothing. And what do? We're going to go to a 3-pitcher rotation where we throw out whatever dumpster guy we can find, like Kobe, for a game cycle. I mean, where does that put us? Like, how can we get worse? And it's gotten worse.
Oh, it can get worse, though. It can get worse. And that's the troublesome part. All right. Who can you go grab? You ready for this? This is how low we are. Madison Bumgarner, who had a whopping 10.26 ERA in 4 starts this season, 16 and 2/3 innings before Arizona said, no, thank you. And by the way, Arizona is a good baseball team. Maybe he can help. All jokes aside, the hell do you have to lose? You need bodies. You're breaking down. You're breaking down all over the field, all over the diamond. You have to stop the bleeding. Before the Bohm stint, doesn't seem like Dave Dombrowski has a sense of urgency. That's what they're missing. They don't have any urgency at all. How do you get it, though? If I asked you right now, you're the manager of the team. You're in the clubhouse. Excuse me. I'm getting flustered. What do you say to this team to try and gather that sense of urgency? And do you believe that Rob Thompson has already tried that? It's a very weird spot for me because knowing Rob, I think what you try and press nonstop is I'm a steady hand. So do you freak? At the same time, how can you not freak? There's no way you could be a part of baseball and through this many games, over a quarter of the season, think that it's all cool. It's not. I have to imagine that he's tried. I just have to imagine. Or someone has. Whether a leader tried to. Is Rhys Hoskins more of a leader than we gave him credit for? I don't think so. If the difference in this team doing what they did last year and this year is Rhys Hoskins, then your team stinks. I said this yesterday too, because a caller brought up that Rob needs to go. And I said, if this team needs 2 managers fired within the first couple months of each respected season, your team stinks. You're not good. Good teams on their own manufacture it. It just happens organically. You go win. But guys are falling apart mentally. Trey Turner has no clue how to play baseball. We got Nick Castellanos again. We were joking around about it, kind of, when this first started to happen. But no, it really did become the 2.0 Nick Castellanos, which means we'll eventually get the big money Trey Turner. It's just not until the 2024 season. It's going to happen at some time here within the early parts of his contract. But let's be honest, if this follows the Nick Castellanos trend, which it seems to be, then we'll get him at the start of next year. But then whatever they add this offseason will probably have a bad first year with the Phils, because Taijuan Walker is another dude. He used to have great, excellent first halves, and then he would fall apart. I don't think he's getting the falling part out of the way. I think he's just having the traditional second halves. He's going to have it in the first half and the damn second half. Once you start changing everything like Taijuan Walker is, doesn't that define overthinking? I got to change this. I got to change that. I got to change my mechanics. I got to change my windup. I know what it is. It's a simple fix. Well, it's not a simple fix. Because you've been terrible. Way too much. Not a simple fix. It's not a simple fix.
I'm done. I'm so freaking done with this. Oh, my God. I feel like I'm in an abusive relationship. I keep coming back for more, thinking things are going to change, but it's never going to freaking change. God, every freaking time I'm just like, I still love you, Phillies. Please take me back. Ah.
I feel you. An abusive relationship. I think that's a good way to describe it, no? You keep getting destroyed. Emotionally, you are heartbroken. There's nothing worse than the feeling where your heart is in your stomach and it's sinking and it seems like the whole world is on your shoulders and it's wearing you down. You are just depleted nonstop. It's a brutal feeling. Yet they show you one glimpse of hope. They show you 1 ounce of love, and you run back to that same person that is really doing damage to you because you want it to change. Because deep down, you can't imagine your life without it. That's us with the Phils. And the weird part is, during the Gabe Kapler era, we would start out great. And a lot of the fans were like, this isn't real, this isn't real. And then other fans were like, no, you got to believe it. Michael Franco's the best eighth-hole hitter in baseball. Oh, man, that was actually real. I didn't have to take a shot at my guy Michael like that, though. No, he gave it his all. He couldn't make this team any worse, right? Hey, see what Franco's doing. You need a third baseman. It's not even funny to be tongue-in-cheek anymore. All of this, the sarcasm, the singing that popped out of nowhere, it's because nothing is working in this noggin. It's got a life of its own. It would be more structured if I had a plan every night. I'd have a plan every night if the Phillies won games. If the Phillies won games, my life is a lot easier and I'm a lot happier. If I'm a lot happier, my life's a lot easier. My wife has a better time. If my wife has a better time, then my entire life changes. You see how this impacts my life? You see how 1 + 1 = 2? As long as we all see it. As long as we all see it. And if they have any respect for my marriage, Trey Turner would hit a home run. Trey Turner will get 3 hits next game. That's only if he respects my marriage and wants me to have a happy life. I don't think they do, though. Doesn't seem like they do, though. What are we even talking about?
Well, Hunter, I said it before, and I'll say it again. This Phillies team is pathetic. Horrible baseball. Good Lord. What am I watching? What the hell am I watching with this Phillies team? They can't do jack shit. You can't hit. You can't pitch. The bullpen is turning to crap. You don't have... Oh, God. This team is a mess.
I don't think the bullpen is turning into crap. What's happening, though, is you're abusing guys. I'll give you 3 dudes that ain't making it. Andrew Bellotti already didn't make it. Connor Brogdon, his time's coming. Matt Strom, we need you again here, kid. They are going to be destroyed. They are not going to be healthy. They won't last. Now who do you go to? Where's Nick Nelson? We need a damn Nick Nelson. Because these early 4th, 5th, 6th inning relievers, we need them every night. Right, but you need them every night. Keep your phone on. You might get a call from Dave Dombrowski. Maybe he'll call into the Anytime Hotline, and he'll ask me on the show. Hey, Broach, man, love the show. First time, long time. You think you can give us 2 innings out of the pen tonight? Appreciate it. Give me a call back or shoot me an email at ddombrowski@hotmail.com. I could see him as a Hotmail guy. He's older. He's got the gray hair, nice and combed over. Once again, we've lost our minds. Once again, I hate this team. Once again, I don't know how it's going to change. And if this doesn't change, it will be the longest summer ever. And if it's the longest summer ever, I don't know where I was going to go with that. I was going to do something again and tie it to something that doesn't make sense and then say that the Phillies don't care about that part of my life and do the whole thing all over again. Because, once again, I hate this team. I'll take one more.
Is it Eagles season yet, Hunter? We're getting pretty close. Not close enough. I just, every time I personally hold out any kind of hope with the Phillies, which hasn't been much this year, they dash it. And I just don't think there's going to come a time this year where this team is going to magically flip the switch and turn into a playoff contender. I think the injuries to Reese Hoskins, Suarez early in the year, even the injury to Andrew Painter, they've never recovered. The WBC destroyed this team because any hits that Trey Turner, JT Realmuto, and Kyle Schwarber had in their bats were left in Miami a couple months ago. Trey Turner has Nick Castellanos itis 2023 edition.
Ew. Now, the World Baseball Classic, that's another suggestion that callers brought in trying to look for answers. And how come there's a bunch of guys? Pete Alonso has 20 home runs on the year. He played in the World Baseball Classic. Now, he stunk in the World Baseball Classic, and Mark DeRosa kept him in the lineup, and some of the players were like, hey, maybe we should try and switch some things up, and trying to take shots at Pete Alonso for not being in the lineup. Like, hey, we don't need him. He's not helping us out, and kind of doing one of those. But, there's plenty of dudes on that roster that are off to great starts to the year. There's nothing that the World Baseball Classic did. It's just ironic that it happens to be JT and Kyle Schwarber and Trey Turner that are terrible right now. But it's not the World Baseball Classic's fault because McNeil, there's plenty of other USA players that are having good seasons. They just stink right now. And they might just stink this year as a team. Maybe they do. Starting to believe it more and more every day. But what do I know? I lost my mind. Did you lose yours? Thank you all so much for hanging out with my crazy ass. I'll talk to you on the next.